Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pro Real Estate Teams YouTube channel, where we talk about everything and anything when building and scaling real estate teams the profitable way. Jake, thanks for coming back. And today we're going to talk about the number one most important factor in expansion teams, the number one reason for success when launching expansion teams. Remember, if you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, share it with a friend if you got any value from this episode. And other than that, we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Jake, what's going on, man?
What's happening? Happy New Year, my friend.
Happy New Year. It looks like you spent your time in Arizona this year for New Year's.
Yeah, I brought the Oregon weather down to Arizona. So it's been raining for half the time down here, but got a little bit of golf in and so forth. Got some
Yeah,
work in, so,
I'm sure your friends are happy about that you brought the Oregon weather down there.
Yeah. Speaking of expansion teams, this is one of our expansion markets, one of our original ones.
Yeah. So when we talk about expansion teams and success in expansion teams, what are a couple of things that come to mind, like right off the bat?
Well, expansion team. So just for those that don't know quite what an expansion team is, you have a team in a specific market, and then you open up another market. And generally, an expansion team will have their hub in their main market where their admin staff, marketing, listing, transaction coordination, and so forth will be in that main market. And then you're opening up another area that you are going to be doing marketing in, and you're aligning yourself with an agent or a team of agents in those areas to produce, with the same brand. For us, it'd be Rockwell Group in those locations. And we currently operate in, I think, 5 markets. We're in Southern Oregon. We're up in Salem, Eugene, Corvallis area of Oregon. And then we're in Phoenix area, as well as we just launched Las Vegas, and then a couple areas in Tennessee, with Denver coming up next. So, we've tried expansion teams in the past. I've been in the business for 10 years, and early on, probably 4 or 5 years into my business, we had launched some expansion teams, and not highly successful, and they're hard to make successful. Part of it was the brokerage we were at the time was not in that area that we were expanding into, so it made it really different trying to bring on an agent with another brokerage, but part of our brand and so forth. And so that's, kind of a beginner's, kind of outline of what an expansion team might look like.
Got it. So I heard you say that, in the beginning, trying to launch the brokerage wasn't quite there yet, a little bit of the infrastructure, but is there another factor in like leadership and choosing, not just launching to launch because it's so easy with our brokerage to launch a satellite team, a expansion team? What are some things that you look for in quality of leadership with the right people in the right areas to make this successful?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we've realized over time is when I look back at the failures in some of the expansion areas, it really came down to the first person that we partnered with in that area, their drive, their work ethic, and just the amount that is needed for that initial person to really put into that area. And some of it plays a role on, are they from that area? Are they new to that area? And so we've had agents that were new to an area and tried to make that work, and it makes it really difficult because then you're just dealing with only leads and people you don't know versus a sphere of influence that they may have already in that area. And so originally, we were with a regional brokerage, and like I said, we had to find someone with another brokerage, which didn't really work. And then once we left that brokerage, we had our own brokerage, and that put up barriers as well, because for us to launch into another state, we would have to get a brokerage license in that state, and it made it difficult. And obviously when you get to, with a national brokerage, someone like EXP or, some of the other national brokerages, it's a little easier. With our brokerage, it's even easier because we're not a franchise model. So we're not hanging licenses at different owned franchises. We're just all part of one company. So caps are the same, and it all stays the same. But that leadership part is really important. So, and we don't decide on a location based on the location only. It's really about finding the right person. And if they're in a location that looks attractive, then we're going to look seriously at an expansion team in that area. So, for example, I had met with someone had reached out to me on Facebook a few years back, and we were talking, and I could tell that this guy was on it. He was really good. And I was like, I tried to recruit him to the team and try to open up, he was in Hawaii at the time, and I wanted to open up Hawaii because I knew he would be a great leader in that area. And he wasn't ready, and he was with a small independent brokerage at the time. But fast forward a year later, he had reached out to me and was like, "Hey, Jake, I'm ready." And so we launched Hawaii, which was just getting off the ground. And he was new to the area, but some unforeseen circumstances caused him to recently move back to Tennessee, where his family is, where his sphere of influence is. He's got a brother that just got licensed. And so we made a shift, and instead of we followed our guy, and so we're in the middle of launching in Tennessee. Actually, we've already closed a deal in Tennessee now.
Yeah.
We'll be in south of Nashville and over in Gatlinburg area. But that's where it comes down to that person. When it's the right person and they're doing everything they can, they're doing all the things that any normal agent would do, plus the leadership stuff, you can tell that you're going to have some success.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know that you say you choose the places that the people are in, the right person, then you look at the opportunity there. But some of the places you name also sound like they have some good golf courses to play in. So that may be a little bit of a factor.
Easy to fly to, easy to get to. One of the other expansion areas is up in Salem, Oregon. So, if I had to advise, I would really advise your expansion areas to be in your state and, 2 or 3 hours away. Try to spread that way. And that's kind of what we're trying to do a little bit within Oregon. But when the right opportunity came in Vegas and Tennessee and Phoenix, we jumped on it. And so, but yeah, Vegas is easy to fly to, and there's good golf. Arizona, we've got a house down here, so it makes sense. And Tennessee, I have not been to Tennessee yet, but obviously we'll get over to Tennessee this year and see the team there and get to know Tennessee a little bit. But I've heard good things about Tennessee. So
awesome. Let's talk a little bit about costs associated. So before moving your brokerage over to EXP, and you were an independent broker, what were some things that I know you already mentioned, having to be licensed in other states to expand? Was there a differentiating factor as far as costs associated to launch in these other markets? And the main baseline fee would be $149 to launch a new market, right? We're just talking like the lowest of lowest to just say we're open there. Now you're talking signs, lock boxes. Like, what other cost associations are someone having to keep in mind?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the key is to lead with revenue as much as possible, but you're going to have some investment up front. And obviously, if you have an agent with our brokerage already there that's licensed and with EXP, then it's just we're just partnering with them, and then we have our normal team agreement, team splits, team benefits, that type of thing. And so, but initial expenses are going to be setting up the website to add the new area. So our website, we currently have all of our locations on one website, just to have that part in place. Obviously, there may be additional websites that come specifically for them, or maybe the agent has their own website. But so signs, obviously, we start with 3 or 4 signs and have them shipped out, and we use the same type of signs for the most part. The same look. Obviously, there's a little bit of differences in branding based on the state rules. Like in Hawaii, we couldn't use group, so it was team. Down in Vegas, they're even stricter. They can't even use Rockwell Group as part of their branding because I'm not licensed in Vegas. However, I'll most likely get licensed down there to shift that. So what we've done down there is we've created the Rockwell Network. And now that's a brand that we can attach at least to the branding. And it's not, it doesn't look like we're marketing as a team there. Anyway, just little different things that have to be done. Hooking up to the MLS, obviously that's done through the agent in that location. And then initial marketing. We start with just lead generation type marketing, and it could be, depends on, Zillow opportunities, realtor.com opportunities, or we might use some of our other ones, ZBuyer, Street Text, pay per click. But obviously we're leaning on that agent to really, develop, business through their SOI, and they go through the same onboarding program and everything that all our team members go through.
Awesome. And then as far as a culture, do you struggle with culture with the outside teams, the satellite teams, the expansion teams? What has been your experience with that?
Yeah, it definitely makes it more difficult when we have 40, 50 agents in our main area, and then you have one or two out in expansion areas, and they're obviously only attending our team meetings via Zoom and trainings via Zoom. They're not always coming to our big parties or big events in our local areas because it's just cost prohibitive for them to fly out. But we do get some of our team members to show up to our annual party and so forth. So yeah, the cultures, it's harder. And so obviously the goal is to build those teams just as big as what we've got in our main area, so that those same events are happening and they're creating their own culture there, which, like up in Salem, we've got 4 agents up in that area now. And so they're and we've got a little office up there. So they've got to, build a little bit of culture there. And so we've hired one of our existing team members to be our expansion director. And so he spends his time really bringing those expansion leaders and team members into together. They have weekly meetings, accountability, is put in place. And so, and then, obviously we meet at some of the big EXP or the big annual events for our brokerage. But yeah, it's going to be a little more difficult. And so the picture is that, hey, let's build those teams up so that they get that same culture built over there, and that it all matches what we're doing, in our main area.
Sweet. So let's go ahead and wrap up with any final thoughts. We've covered why you should start one, kind of the personnel, who should be, considered when starting one, what areas, when considering starting an expansion team. We've talked initial costs, and we've talked about an expansion director briefly. Is there any final thoughts that if you were day one, never had an expansion team question in mind that you would, want to have asked for yourself? Is there anything top of mind?
No, and I think the reason, I don't know that we fully touched on the reason to start an expansion team. For us, we're in a small market. We're in a 200,000 population. And so to really find the growth that we're looking for as an organization, expansion areas are going to be more and more important. And truly, I believe that the mega teams, expansion area teams, is really the way of the future for the industry. There's just, it's hard to compete against that much resource. The amount of resources we can put together with that large of a team and that much volume just provides a better experience, not only for the client, but really for the agents. They can truly leverage a great team to accomplish everything they want to accomplish. So, again, definitely the most important factor is the person that you're putting in charge, and that first person, and how hard are they going to work? What are they going to do? What kind of experience do they have, and so forth.
Yeah. All right. Love it. Hey guys, remember to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for any future episodes. Also, Jake, why don't you let them know how to get in touch with us if they want to dive a little bit deeper on expansion teams and what has helped us to grow locally to 500 transactions, and now nationally we'll probably break 1,000 transactions in no time. So how do they get a hold of us if they want to have those type of conversations?
Yeah, if you just want to pick our brain or you want to learn about partnering with us, just click on the calendar link down below, and we'd be happy to jump on a call or Zoom, meet in person if it makes sense, and chat and see what we can share to help you with your business. So, yeah.
Sweet. All right, everybody, enjoy your new year. Remember, if there's anything we can do to help, go ahead and give us a call. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take care, JJ.
All right. Bye.